Edmund and Lucy Pevensey know what it is to be royalty. They've ruled over the magical realm of Narnia, but right now they're stuck in a sparse, intensely mundane bedroom in mid-century England. To make matters worse, they have to share this house with their cousin, Eustace Scrubb. Eustace is a slight, puny boy who collects pinned beetles and actively enjoys bullying people when he knows he has the upper hand at home. But that rigid reality shatters when the only interesting object in the house, a painting of a Narnian ship with a striking purple sail, comes alive. Ocean water actually spills out of the wooden frame, pulling all three children directly into a roaring sea. One moment, they are trapped in a strict, predictable routine. The next, they are violently plunged into an untamed ocean, forced to swim for their lives and adapt immediately to a world that doesn't care about their modern comforts. Hauling them from the water is the crew of the Dawn Treader. Commanding the vessel is King Caspian, an athletic, blonde-haired ruler in his early 20s who recognizes his old friends, the Pevenseys, instantly. Among the crew is a rather unique swordsman. Reepicheep is a talking mouse, standing exactly 2 feet tall on his hind legs with nearly black fur, a thin gold band around his head, and a long crimson feather tucked into it. He carries a rapier, nearly as long as his tail, and conducts himself with absolute courtly nobility. Caspian has a massive geographical puzzle to solve. He is sailing into the completely unmapped eastern seas to track down 7 Narnian lords, allies of his late father, who were banished by a usurping uncle years ago. Reepicheep, however, is chasing something far less tangible. He has sworn an oath to sail to the absolute eastern edge of the world, hoping to find the spiritual realm known as Aslan's country. Caspian's search for missing lords and Reepicheep's search for a spiritual boundary merge, turning the Dawn Treader toward a horizon where geography meets myth. The map's first stop is the Lone Islands, an ostensibly Narnian territory where things go wrong immediately. The landing party is ambushed by local slave traders and thrown into captivity. Caspian leverages his hidden identity as king to turn the tables. He corners the corrupt governor, abolishes the local slave trade by royal decree, and in the process secures the rescue of Lord Byrne, the first of the 7 missing men. Deeper into the east, the ship drops anchor at a desolate, storm-swept beach known as Dragon Island. While the crew repairs the ship, Eustace slips away entirely on his own, hoping to dodge any hard work and hoard whatever valuables he might find in the mountains. He stumbles into a hidden valley and discovers a dead dragon's cave and treasure. Eustace falls asleep on the hoard and magically turns into the very monster his internal greed reflects, a creature with a lead-colored snout, cruel claws, and rasping bat wings. His toxic personality has literally become his physical form. Stripped of his human arrogance, Eustace suffers in the body of a beast until a painful, miraculous intervention by Aslan tears away the scales. Nearby, the crew discovers the arm ring of Lord Octesian, confirming the grim fate of the second missing noble. With the slave trade abolished and Eustace restored to his human form, the crew leaves Dragon Island, having paid a steep price in pride for their first steps into the uncharted East. The tests continue. On the next island, the crew finds a cursed shimmering pool that instantly turns any object dipped into it into solid gold. At the bottom lies a heavy golden statue, the remains of Lord Restamar. Escaping that lethal temptation, the Dawn Treader sails onward and makes landfall on an island inhabited by the Dufflepuds, a bizarre local population that has been rendered completely invisible. The Dufflepuds coerce Lucy into a highly specific task. She must walk alone into a sprawling, quiet magician's house to find the specific spell that will make the island's inhabitants visible again. Lucy unfastens heavy leaden clasps to reveal thick, handwritten pages. But as she searches for the visibility spell, she finds incantations promising immense physical beauty and forbidden knowledge about her friends. While Eustace struggled against the physical weight of his own greed, Lucy's difficulty is internal, finding the courage to resist a book that offers everything she wants at the cost of who she is. Approaching the absolute limits of the mapped ocean, the crew encounters a phenomenon that defies logic. Instead of turning back, the Dawn Treader steers directly into an unnatural, sprawling mass of thick, impenetrable black fog. The dark island exudes a supernatural gloom that bypasses the eyes and targets the mind, pulling a person's worst, most irrational nightmares into the physical world. Despite the overwhelming panic setting in among the sailors, Caspian and Edmund hold their nerve. They track the source of a desperate scream and pull a ragged, wild-eyed man aboard, Lord Roop, who has been trapped in his own worst fears for years. The darkness serves as the ultimate filtration system. By navigating a space where terror is literalized, the crew proves their mental resilience. They conquer the final psychological barrier required to reach the edge of the world. The horrors of the dark give way to stunning clarity. The ship glides out of the fog and into the silver sea. A brilliantly lit expanse of restorative sweet water carpeted in massive white lilies. Caspian's political and geographic obligations reach their end. The final three missing lords, Revilian, Argos, and Mavromorn, are accounted for, found in an enchanted sleep at Ramondu's land just behind them. With the Narnian registry complete, Caspian delegates his royal authority. He officially rewards the sailors for their endurance and turns command of the Dawn Treader over to Lord Drinian for the long voyage home. Reepicheep's objective, however, lies further east. Refusing to turn back, the small knight disarms, steps into a tiny coracle, and rides a towering standing wave over the horizon towards Aslan's country, fulfilling his spiritual oath. Edmund, Lucy, and Eustace are sent back through the dimensional threshold to mid-century England. But the boy who returns is entirely different. Eustace leaves his cruelty and greed behind in the eastern waters. The Dawn Treader returns to Narnia with every coordinate on the eastern map filled, though the most significant change is found in passengers who carry the scars and clarity of the voyage back to their own worlds.